Hi, shalom. This is something I've wanted to talk about for a while, but I've kind of been fumbling for words, and I'm also kind of hesitant because I know this is going to be an extremely unpopular viewpoint. In fact, I am making the decision to disable comments on this video because unfortunately I would receive more inflammatory comments than constructive ones. Before I go any further, I want to make one thing very clear. I am not at all opposed to supporting the people of Ukraine and providing financial and practical support for Ukrainian citizens and refugees. They were attacked and they are fighting back in self-defense. I don't identify as a pacifist per se. I think sometimes military intervention can be an unfortunate necessity, as it's proving to be in this case. But here's the thing. I cannot, with a clear conscience, create any "I stand with Ukraine" posts. Because in situations like this, if you say you're standing with one side, you're essentially standing in opposition to the other side. Dictators hurt the civilians in the countries they have taken over. Russian civilians are profoundly affected by the current political situation, and they're not responsible for what's been happening. When you blame an entire country for the actions of one person, you're heading into really iffy territory. At the time that I filmed this video, I had some other projects in pre-production that involved extensive research on the KKK and the Holocaust. One of the videos I have in the works is my response to a Holocaust film called The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. What's unique about this film is it takes a hard, sobering look at how children are affected when the adults in their lives are perpetuating hateful ideology. I have my shortcomings just like anyone else, but the one thing I will never do is intentionally teach children that one group of people is superior to another. I was first introduced to the concept of racism and prejudice in kindergarten when my class learned about Martin Luther King. My classmates and I were trying to wrap our 5-year-old minds around this concept of segregation. My teacher said, "It would be as though I told you that you kids with brown eyes can't play with the kids who have blue eyes." I have brown eyes, and I remember being very disturbed by this. As young as I was, I just distinctly remember thinking I never wanted to make another person feel the way I felt during that example. You're going to hear me say this a lot. Children are not born innately hateful. They are born innately curious. They don't see differences as a problem until the adults in their lives make it a problem. With everything going on right now, we could easily fall into the trap of othering innocent people if we don't stop and really think twice about this. I've mentioned in some of my other recent videos that it has been Murphy's Law with technology on my end. I think I've got that sorted out enough to work on post-production for the stuff I've just filmed, but I don't want to make any promises. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.